Thank you very much. Massimo Baldo, Vice President Europe of the Palace Company.
If Italy is the dream, we make it come true. We offer a rare glimpse into worlds that perfectly embrace the ancient and modern, where you can experience the magic of La Dolce Vita, or explore the birthplace of the Renaissance like a local. Find inspiration where design, culture, and beauty meet. Get lost in the magic of water, bridges, art, and history. Explore medieval towns, verdant olive groves, and the stunning Adriatic coastline of Salento. Discover ancient civilizations and hidden coves, or find barefoot luxury on a tropical island in the middle of the Indian Ocean. Our passion is to create memories that will stay with you for a lifetime. We are Barleone Hotels and Resorts, and we are ready to say welcome. Benvenuto.
Ben arrivato.
Welcome.
Baglioni forse è uno dei...
Baglioni is possibly one of the historical brands born in Italy that were acquired by international operators. I believe the Italian one is quite an evolutionary market. So do you want to tell us something about how Baglioni was handed over? Well, the group was acquired back in 2022 by the Palace Company. And let's talk about the Palace Company. In short, well, they're not well known in Italy. Actually, they're almost unknown currently. Before that, they had no operating structure in Italy or in Europe. The group was established as an American dream. This was a family that left Lebanon and moved to the north of Yucatan Peninsula. There they started with some commercial activities, reinvesting everything into real estate, and then converted back in 1984 into a hotel company. 1984, yeah. It was the year when I was born, so we are the same age. Then they actually grew quite consistently and developed a business model that is different from all the other hotel companies because they grew a lot with the vacation clubs, which accounts for 60% of sales, of the group sales. Hence, the need to expand abroad because we have a very high number of users, members of the vacation club, which is named the Palace Elite, which is highly fidelized. It comes into all our facilities, and so they want variety. When we conducted our customer survey on where these customers wanted to travel, the unanimous answer was Italy, hence the need to expand into Europe, and of course the agreement with Baglioni. So the group chose Italy because they had evidence that their own loyalty customers wanted Italy as their destination. We have about 97,000 members in the vacation club. 82% are from North America, United States and Canada. Of course, they have a huge interest in our own country. Italy first, then Greece and France. Hence, these three markets became the reference markets for our expansion. As a matter of fact, we do not choose where to grow, but this comes from our loyal customers. So the Baglioni Hotel, which is Italian, is going to expand following the driver of where the American loyal club members want to go. So as a matter of fact, we are going to grow the Baglioni brand in Europe and in the Caribbean. The Palace Company currently has 17 facilities, 10 of them in the Caribbean, with about 5,200 operated rooms, and furthermore, the same number in the pipeline, Jamaica, Dominican Republic. Were these rooms also available with the previous Baglioni? No. They have no Baglioni brand, but the goal is to have facilities with the Baglioni brand in that market in the same way as we want to bring the Le Blanc brand into Europe. We have 4 brands in the group: Palace, Montpalace, Le Blanc, and Baglioni. where Palace and Montpalace are luxury, all-inclusive hotels devoted to families with different, very large facilities. The Palace are the small ones. They have about 300, 400 rooms. Montpalace are the larger ones, over 1,000 rooms. Le Blanc is only for adults, with very large focus on the spa and well-being experience, about 360 rooms. Target is between 300 and 400 rooms. Hence, that's a size which can actually be in line with the European market, which, of course, cannot support other results. Baglioni, the average of rooms is, well, from 24 rooms in Milan, 30 in Milan, 116 in Rome, and 88 in the Maldives. So between 30 and 100, more or less. Well, currently, the facilities we are considering have a minimum of 50 rooms. So that's the standard we want to start from. And nowadays, you have a strong shareholder that actually allowed you to move. They acquired Baglioni. Their project is actually to extend it further. Already signed agreements, so you can talk about in the coming months, years. Well, I'd like to tell you about what's in the pipeline, but I'll have to shut my mouth. Well, we have done a lot in 2024. I believe we are going to reap results in 2025, tending into the future. We have greatly focused the creation of the pipeline last year. Now we have a very important pipeline. We have quite large tickets this year. And I believe that in the coming 2-3 months, we might be able to announce 2 strong agreements, one in Italy and one in Greece. And we are also working for future agreements. What's interesting here is that our business model is almost all equity funded. So the company decided to invest 1 billion euro in the European market for the coming 5 years. So when we are going to invest this money in the first years or later, well, that's going to depend on the opportunities. However, this is the goal of the group. And all our transactions are directly managed. So this amount, including real estate, yes, because our business model is owner-operator. So we have 3 business lines in the group: the real estate part, the PropCo, which is the owner of all the real estates in the group, the OpCo, managing the operations of the 4 brands I mentioned before, and the 3rd business line, which is Vacation Club. It lives on its own, and nowadays it represents the best we can offer. Last year we closed with $1.75 million sales at group level, over 1 million for the Vacation Club, between new memberships and the hotel occupation generated by the Vacation Club members. So it's 3 business lines. So that's your main marketing commercial tool. And is this something you only have, or is this typical of American facilities? Well, I would say it's quite of a unicum for our own size, because we are the 5th largest vacation club in the world. We have huge giants ahead of us. We are the big ones in the small ones. And that group, that actually helped a lot at financial level for the group, because with the membership sales, we do collect cash, which is pretty important, and this allows us to actually grow. So it's a business value, and it also brings in a business from all the rest. Correct. It's sort of a self-funding. How did you come up with this idea? Well, it has the same roots as the group, because the family developed in the commercial sector. They reinvested their profits in the real estate world. They sold to U.S. people. They were in the area close to Cancun. Then they told the owner, okay, we have these second homes. Try and find someone who might want to rent them. as you often do with the secondary vacation homes. Hence, the owner understood that this was working pretty well. They created this idea of the club, which is actually sort of a multi-ownership. Actually, that has turned into a true membership system nowadays. So for sure, it cannot be compared with other similar forms. Hence, that generated a capacity of fidelization and occupation, which was pretty important, and that laid the foundations for the group's growth. During the COVID time in 2020, we were just one of the few groups that generated a profit, because while the others were closed, we had members who wanted to travel. We had almost 100% occupation by our club members. And this actually allows us also to have strong direct sales, because unlike other partners, we have 76% of our sales from direct sales, 42% of that from the club members. We have 3 partners that actually complete the occupations. The largest one is Expedia, and we have our friends from Expedia here. They do account for 3% of the group's turnover and sales. So very small amount, but we are pretty free in our way of moving. Well, we have a good business with them, even though they are so small. I'm talking about Italy. What do you have in the pipeline? Food and beverage, what are the development lines for the group? As for food and beverage, of course, this is one of the main activities, even though this is a totally different world compared to hotellerie. We are quite good with hotel management. Hence, on F&B, we actually want to rely more and more on 2 partners. We are currently working with the Chef Sadler in Casa Baglioni, Milan, and in Sardinia, where we have 2 restaurants with a Michelin star. The idea is to keep on working like this. So either partnerships with chefs, well-known chefs, or with strong brands that might provide us with the expertise and the ability, yes, catering and F&B brands, because that's what brings in professionalism, volumes, and the possibility to position our own outlets. So we are going to follow that route, much focused on the Italian catering system concept. With the Baglioni brand, we are developing the Italian made in Italy style, with providers, design, a very focused offer, and we are following on that as for food and beverage too. One last question. Baglioni is typically Italian. The group was acquired for Italy, but we can think that it might lead to a development of the brand in the US, because Baglioni already existed in New York. What's your take, the group's take, on this possible development overseas? For sure, the group, the family, is a young family. We are currently stepping into the 3rd generation with very ambitious children. They are also very open to new markets, and for sure the idea is to lead the brand to the Caribbean as first goal, and thereafter the goal is definitely going to be to penetrate the North American market, since our customers mostly come from North America. Hence, we already have a positioning, particularly with a very strong Caribbean brand. And what we are currently building is a very strong brand awareness for the Baglioni brand too. 40% of our customers in the Baglioni hotels, the 3 hotels and Maldives, comes from North America. So it's quite of a natural pipeline. We have more and more customers, both members and not, coming back to us. So that's the natural consequence. We will have to get positioned in larger cities like New York, Los Angeles, Miami, and so on. Well, very interesting. So an Italian brand that might develop in the US and in America. Thank you. Thank you very much.